You're listening to Artcast from our studio in Chamwino, Tanzania.
Hello, good people. Welcome to Artcast Radio, broadcasting straight from Chamwino Art Center in Chamwino, Dodoma, Tanzania. And your host today is Ayubu Mbarazi. And today topics will be discussing about life after volunteering. And after a very long time, today we will be talking with two or three volunteers who has been in Bulgaria for like 6 months each. And they will tell us their experience after they came back to Tanzania. We want to know what kind of activities are they doing, what kind of experience they get, what kind of problems they encounter after coming back to Tanzania. As we all know that everyone is talking about how fun volunteering is, what kind of experience they get, but how much they use it in their society became still a question which is going to be asked today. And as one of the volunteers, I will guide you to listen and learn about this aspect from our volunteers. So we'll have Anastasia Oswald, me, Ayubu Mbarazi, Gudrun Columbus, and hopefully Catherine Kimabo. So stay tuned and stay with me.
The project is carried out thanks to the financial support of the European program Erasmus+, K-Action 2, Capacity Building in the Field of Youth.
Well, now I want to first share my experience on this topic in January, because I have listened to many people talking about how productive volunteering is and how much they had fun or how much we had fun, but no one has ever talked about the impact of volunteering in their life and the society in general. So I came back to Tanzania with very big expectations, but also I was having a lot of fears, because many of the people in Tanzania have a different view and expectation from people coming from Europe, especially their fellow Africans. So they expect that the aspect of volunteering does not make sense to most of them, as they believe that you cannot live in Europe and came back to Africa in January broke. So for me, I had the same problem, as I received a lot of requests from friends, family, and even people that I don't know, but they know me, that they want some gift from Europe. And one strange and funny experience that I got is that when I came here, I received like 100 messages, and all of them were asking for gift or money that I got from Europe. And when I said no, I refuse to give them, not because because I have it more, because I didn't have it. I lose like 80% of them, of my friends and relatives, because they got mad because I didn't give them anything when I came back. And to me, I was very disappointed, but also it was strange because I was in Europe volunteering. Why would you assume that I have a lot of money? Um, and also, even if I have a lot of money, why should I give it to you? If I was maybe working in Europe, it was for my benefit, not yours. But that was very strange for me because they expect that maybe it was Bill Gates coming from Europe and not Ayubu. And I even say, why did I even come back to Tanzania? Maybe I should just stayed there. But I love my country, so I came back anyway. Then life went on, as always. Go to the university, do some works, go to work, do some works. And even though I didn't have a lot of friends that was supporting me before, but I had true friends who supported me right now, that they knew that I came back from volunteering, so I was broke, I had no job, I had nothing to do, so they made sure that I have everything that I supposed to have, like job, friends to hang out, to go out with people, people to just chat and everything. They kept on giving me a lot of support because they knew that I had some potentiality, which is experience and knowledge. So the fact that I was volunteering in Europe didn't just get to me. Most of my friends, due to me not giving them gift, but also it gave me a lot of friends who believed that I can help them in their problems. So from the day I came back from Tanzania, I started receiving a lot of invitation to different activities like art festivals, music recording, just art advising, because they wanted me to engage, because they knew that now my knowledge and my understanding of the market, the industry of art, is a little bit bigger. It has to do with my trip to Europe. So they wanted to share their experience and also get some of my experience from Europe. So I even enlightened my vision and aim, and because it was changed for the better, and now I can see that and even predict that what is going to happen in a certain situation, like when the festival starts with 2 people, or maybe when the festival starts without sound. I can tell you that in order to get a lot of people, you have to do this. I even had a lot of experience on organization, communications, and also tolerance. So it gave me a lot of things. So my understanding in market-wise has been also enhanced as I am more creative nowadays, as I was before. I can even get grade different services and predict in a good way about what to do than it was before I went to Bulgaria.
Hi, my name is Anastasia Oswald, and I am from the United Republic of Tanzania, and I currently live and work here. 2 months ago, I had a very sad experience. Okay, not so dramatic, but sad, because I had to say goodbye to my very dear friends in Bulgaria. And the reason why was because my time in EVS was over. If I had to rewind and re-explain, I was one of the fortunate candidates that were selected to go do the European Volunteer Service, or in other words, EVS. And I went with it. I followed my heart and I went, and it was a very beautiful experience for me. I was accepted by the Open Space Foundation of Bulgaria, and I was sent by Chamuino Arts Center. So there's basically a receiving and sending organization. And I was very happy actually when I got the news that I had been selected to go. But on the other side of the coin, I was hit by fear, because I wasn't exactly sure of what I was going for, or what I was going to meet, or what I was going to do. Like, was it a job, or was it an internship, or was it a school? I wasn't sure, and I was so sure of what I was doing already in my country that it kind of scared me, because it's like walking in a dark room and you don't know what you would step on or hit. 6 months later, I came back to Tanzania in July. Actually, I arrived on July 1st. And I was very happy to meet my family once again. I was very happy to meet my friends. And also, I was still very, very sad. I had also a very big cultural shock because... okay, I cannot say shock per se, because I know exactly how my country is like, and it's the same or more improved than how I left it. So I wasn't exactly in shock, but I would say it would be like a bummer sometimes. Like, you forget and you're like, okay, let me go out and you remember, okay, wait, I'm not in Bulgaria. But I could say it's the same way. Even in Bulgaria, I was the same. I would want to do something and I remember I'm in Bulgaria, not Tanzania. But I would say, the experience and the life in general after I came back has been very interesting, actually, because I don't know, most people expect you to have money. That's the funny part, actually. I'm like, guys, I wasn't working, I was volunteering. You don't get paid. You get funded, but you don't get paid. So most people think that you have money to throw around. Everyone thinks you have a present to give to them, even people you haven't spoken to 10 years ago. Somehow they're important to you and you're supposed to give them presents. And it's very funny. Some people come to you asking why you came back and you didn't even tell me. I didn't even say goodbye when I left, so I don't get it. But it's actually a very quite fun experience for me. It's the sad part I can say is that you can actually lose people because people look at you differently, like, you know what, you speak like that because you're from Bulgaria, but it's not true. I'm the same person. Sure, of course there are changes, but I'm the same person. My family, however, is the same, takes me the same. They're not looking at me differently because I came from Bulgaria. But I can say that I also may look at me differently because of this experience. Of course, it changed me for the better. I feel like a more improved person, and even career-wise, I feel like I have more courage and experience than I had before I left, and I can say that this was the best choice that I could have ever made. Currently, I am working on my own projects here in Tanzania because I'm into fashion, and at the moment I am also doing exactly that, fashion. I have a store that I'm soon opening, and I could say before I left I had this very same idea. The thing was, I thought like I needed so much to implement it. But when I went to Bulgaria and I came back, after I did my EVS, after all the people that I met, all the lessons that I learned, really, I feel different and I can do this. And that's how I feel like I can pull it off. It's just, it's very fascinating. Wow, okay. So I'm adjusting to my life back in Tanzania the same way, or better. I'm just sad because in the process I lost a lot of friends, because you look at them and it doesn't make sense to you if your friends look at you differently and they say, okay, you know what, you speak like this because you're from Bulgaria. For me, you cannot call yourself my friend if you're like this, because you should see me for me, not for which country I've visited, But also it's helped me gain a lot of friendships, and I could say I'm very, very thankful for that. To be able to see through things that I never used to see, to be able to, I don't know, speak out my voice even louder. I mean, I always spoke out, but I think I have the courage to speak out even more. The need to want to bring change in my society is bigger than I ever had. And I mean, I don't have anyone else to thank except the European Voluntary Service and Open Space Foundation and the most Chamuino Art Center, because I mean, without them, I would have never known this thing even exists. So, yes, my advice for anyone out there that's listening to this is to always follow your dreams, always follow your heart, and never be afraid to take risks. Okay, I'm lying. Of course, you're gonna be afraid to take risks, but sometimes the best way to do anything is by jumping into it and not overthinking it. So my advice is to put a blind eye to some thoughts in your head that keep questioning, oh, but what if I lose friends? Oh, but what if people don't like me? Oh, what if? No, it's to just go with it and say, I'm going to know what will happen, and I will know what should happen when I'm back. So, thank you.
After these two interviews from me and Anastasia, let's take a short break, listening a little bit of music of Chigogo, and then we'll be back with two more interviews from Gudrun Columbus and Agatha. Stay tuned.
Hello everyone, I go by the name of Goodwin Columbus Mwanyika from Chamwino Art Center here in Dodoma, Tanzania. Last year I was in Bulgaria as volunteer, European Voluntary Service for 6 months, working on the project Art and Culture for Unit, sponsored by Erasmus Plus Capacity Building in the Field of Youth. As our topic today says, that's the life after volunteering. Actually, it's been a long time for me. It's about 6 months now since I left Bulgaria. I remember I left there in November 2017, at the end of November 2017. The life there was amazing. I learned a lot during my voluntary service there under the hosting organization Open Space Foundation, which was one among the 4 partners of this project. Let me mention the partners of the project. There was Open Space Foundation from Bulgaria, my organization, the Chamwino Art Center from Dodoma, Tanzania, Solar Expression from Uganda, and Min Viganti from Italy. First I was surprised that I've been chosen by my organization to represent there in this project as EVS volunteer, European Voluntary Service. So I did my best. We had a lot of activities in Bulgaria, but the main activity was to produce radio podcast, Artcast radio. I mean, the one you are listening right now. We were the first team there in Bulgaria, me and my fellow volunteer from Tanzania and 2 from Uganda. Catherine Kimambo from Tanzania, we went there together, and we met Sarah and Shamsa from Soul Expression in Uganda. So I was the only man in their project as a volunteer. I had a lot of new experience. I observed a lot from our different people there. I mean, we are different, African and European. We are totally different, but it was not the same that as I thought before, that we are totally different. Not really. We are such kind of differences. I mean, because we are all human beings. So one of the best experiences that I learned that as long as we are human beings, we are all the same. It's all the matter of weather, location that changes our attitude and our thinking capacity and our daily lives at all. Our topic today is life after volunteering. Yeah, it's an amazing topic because before I went there, I had a chance to meet some volunteers who went there before, and they stayed there for like a year. I was just staying for 6 months, but the former volunteer in the project, another project called Art for Social Change, they were there for 10 years, and when they come back, they were total kind of lost, where do they start again life in Tanzania, in Africa. So I think my advantage was knowing that when you come back, you have to continue with your life here in Tanzania. Different culture, different way of thinking, different weather, and different people you met. So right now I have almost 7 or 8 months in Tanzania since I was volunteer, and I'm totally different. Actually, I changed a lot through this experience and observation I get from Bulgaria during my EVS. First, I think starting with social life. Before I went to Bulgaria, I had a lot of friends. I mean, a lot of people who I always associate with. But when I come back, I found myself that I don't need all those people to be associated with. So I changed my lifestyle in some way, because I found that I'm a potential, I found a potentiality within me. I was just a graduate student from University of Dar es Salaam at the time that I went to Bulgaria. So that was my official job. Was like, for me, was like a real experience of official job, like working in the office with different people. Wake up in the morning, going home in the evening, doing some stuff in the office. And this is where I found that I'm capable of doing a lot of stuffs, especially when it comes to production. Actually, I graduated in 2016, bachelor degree in theater, film, and television, and within this, bachelor degree, we learned also about radio production, television production, and our activities in Bulgaria was to make radio podcasts. Artcast radio, the one that you are listening right now. It was such kind of good experience during my work time, because we were the first team to produce this Artcast radio, online radio, for publishing this podcast. So I was like a team leader, because I knew the tactics and techniques of making radios podcasts before. It was hard to share it to people who have no idea how radio are produced, like the other of my fellow volunteers from Uganda, so Expression, and also my fellow one that we went together, Catherine Kimambo from Tanzania. So it was my responsibility to share with them, to encourage them, so that we can make it better. And we did our best. So I was trying to tell this because here in Tanzania right now, as I said before, I put a line between me and unnecessary people. After finding that I'm a potential guy, I can do a lot of stuff. I can work, I can associate with people with the same goals, with the same ideas for our achievement. For making our life better, for making our country better. I only left with a very few people right now, especially those who are better than me. So I can learn a lot, as I learned in Bulgaria also, because I met people there who have different experience, who have different knowledge, who let me know that, hey guy, you're amazing, you can do a lot of stuff, and you have to do it, and it's your time, because you are young people. As young people, we have to push ourselves. We have to work harder for the future of ourselves and for the future generation. So life here in Tanzania is amazing right now. I know myself, I know my place, I know how I'm going to survive. And as I said, I'm really grateful for being part in this project. It taught me a lot. It taught me that we are the same people. It doesn't matter the color, it doesn't matter the location. We are all human beings. We share the same stuff. The only difference is just color and lifestyle. And this lifestyle difference comes from locational differences, like dressing code, for example. In Bulgaria, there is this winter and summer. During summer, people wear shorts, vests, which is kind of normally here in Tanzania. But when it's come to wearing coat, jacket, boots, it's a little bit hard, especially from the city that I grew up, Dar es Salaam. It's hot all the year. It's summer all over the year. So I found out that, okay, so these people, they're dressing like this and this because of their weather, and so here I don't need to have a lot of jacket in my home just because of the fashion. No, I need to follow. I need to follow the right thing at the right place. Um, Life after EVS is such. It's depend on the people. It's depend on the person. For example, before I went there, I met this former volunteer who stayed in Bulgaria for 10 months for my organization with other project called Artcast for social change. And when they come back, they found themselves that they're lost, and they have to find themselves again. What are they going to do here? So I was prepared on that, because outside my professional, I'm also designer. I'm doing some shirts, batik shirt design, tie and dye. And when I went there, I went there with also with some clothes. Designed by me to sell, and I also make sure that the activities that I started is still continue. Like I trained some people before to work for me for those 6 months that I will be out of the country, and when I come back, I found it good continue, and I was just continue working with my staff. Despite that, right now I've been trusted a lot with the organization that I'm working with, Chamwino Art Center, and given more responsibility on it, because my work also in Bulgaria was such kind of amazing, according to the feedback that I always receive from the people surround me, from the people I worked with, and also from the hosting organization, Open Space Foundation. So far so good. I'd like to thank the director of my organization, Dr. Kedmon Mapana. I'd like to thank Pepa Peneva, the director of hosting organization, Open Space Foundation. I can say the project was fruitful for me. It was really youth capacity building. Yeah, I grew up a lot in my mind, I can see things furthermore, because of course come back to my professional as a filmmaker and theater artist. I had a chance in Bulgaria to be in one of the biggest film studio called New Bulgaria Studio. I learned a lot from it, and right now my work here as a filmmaker is a little bit different. It's a little bit far. I'm thinking beyond. I believe that one day I can establish that kind of studio here. I just need the time, I'm still working on it, and I believe one day it can be here. So as you can see, my thinking capacity right now is a little bit different. It's grow up all over every day. I grew up, I get some new opportunities after the EVS, because there are a lot of opportunity for people who have been in youth exchange program here, because we need to share to our African people. We need to share what we learned there, how was life there, how was the experience. So I'm always invited to different projects with other different organizations. For instance, for the past 2 weeks, I was in for the past it's about a month now. It's about a month now. I was in Moshi with one of my fellow volunteer, my co-worker here in Chamwino Center, who was also volunteer in the same project in Bulgaria for 6 months, Ayubu Mbalazi. We were there to share. It was Pan-Africanism Youth Camp. We were there to share our experience and what should we do after coming back to Africa. So it's still going on. My trip to Bulgaria as a volunteer opened me a lot of doors that I couldn't see it before. Right now I just knock when someone open it, and I'm in, work on it. Yeah. Thank everybody for listening. Thanks for all supporters for this project. You guys, you're amazing. You should support this project to continue, and I'm looking forward for the next project that is still under construction, as we can say in such a way. So thank you and goodbye.
Hello, my name is Agata Maloda from Tanzania. Today I'm happy to share with you my life after EVS. I am a former EVS volunteer from Tanzania in Bulgaria in 2015-2016, and I was able to work with Open Space Foundation of Bulgaria as our host organization. The first month of me coming back to Tanzania after EVS was kind of challenging, a little bit challenging, as it was having a bit of mixture between happiness that I'm back home, sadness that I left Bulgaria as it became my second home, and trying to adjust to another, like to come back to the life I used to live before. So that was a little bit of challenge, but I'm thankful for everyone who gave me a hand and bring me back, and I started living my other life. After a month of full emotions and adjustment, I was able to start my personal project that was funded with Erasmus program, and I was able to prepare a program that took place in 3 days. One day called EVS Day, where we go to have some youth with us, and me and my volunteer were able to bring a lot of youth and share with them what EVS is, like what is happening with EVS, and all the information about EVS that they can work with, or they can start recognize and start taking a step in EVS. And the second day was Bulgarian Day, where we got to share with the community members on what Bulgaria is, their culture and traditions, and different information about Bulgaria. And the good news is we got to have the kids, the youth who came in Bulgaria for 2 weeks of youth exchange, and they got to share what was their experience in Bulgaria, and they got to perform Bulgarian dances. We got to eat Bulgarian food, and so much fun. The third day was Creativity Day, where I got to work with kids, and the aim of this was to transmit all the creativity things that I got in Bulgaria and share it with kids, like making decoupage, making cards, and making different tools using wool. My life from there till now, I have been volunteering with CAC, keep preparing festivals, working with Chamwino Connect as accountant technician, entrepreneurships that I use to deal with different fabrics and making different designing the fabrics, and I was able to work as a youth leader with CAC, as well as program leading in Tanzania, India, Nepal with Rustic. I would like to thank God first for everything, my family for all the company they always give me, and also I am very grateful to Dr. Kedmon Mapana for this opportunity, CAC as whole, Open Space Foundation, partnered organizations, and Erasmus Plus for inviting match skills and different experiences that are most useful to my life right now. Thank you so much. Long live EVS, long live Erasmus.
The project is carried out thanks to the financial support of the European program Erasmus Plus, K-Action 2, Capacity Building in the Field of Youth.
As the volunteers has been talking on their interviews, I would like to say that volunteering is not such a bad thing, and do not stop your child or your sister or your brother or your friend from going to volunteering. Because what they're gonna get is very important things, a very good experience, but also life after volunteering. I just found out is not as bad as people say. You see, you've listened to Agatha. She has her own things going on. She is employed right now doing a lot of things. You heard from Gudrun, he has a very good experience. Stacy also have a very good experience, and me too. So what is there to add? We have a good experience and our life is still going on. So volunteering is good, and I have nothing to add there. So have a good day. It is me, Ayubu Mbarazi. Without forgetting, this podcast is made by Open Space Foundation from Sofia, Bulgaria, Chamwino Art Space from Chamwino, Dodoma, Tanzania, Soul Expression from Uganda, and Mind Vegan from Italia, under the sponsorship of European Commission through Erasmus Plus. So until next time, it's Ayubu Mbarazi.